Today, our group will talk about the Belt and the Road under Confucianism. Confucianism originated in China during the spring and the autumn period as a response to social and political upheaval. Confucius, the philosopher behind the Confucianism, sought to restore social harmony and stability through a return to moral values and virtues. Benevolence, harmony, and righteousness are the core concepts of the Confucianism. The emergency of the Silk Road not only promoted the genesis of the international trade, but also facilitated the integration of the different cultures. The Silk Road originated commercial trade and evolved into a hub for multicultural exchange and integration across countries. It was not only conduit for trade and commodity exchange, but also a bond for technological, cultural, and relationships exchange between China and other countries. Western ideologies such as Buddhism is introduced to China through the Silk Road, while the Confucianism was also transmitted to the West, influencing cultural exchange and the commercial transactions at the time. So this is a cultural communications diffusion of the practice. In the new time, the Belt and the Road not only promote economic cooperation and international trade along the route, but also facilitate the spread of Confucianism. The dimension of the Confucianism enhance the understanding and the recognition of China among the countries along the Belt and the Road, strengthen the exchange and the learning between Chinese and foreign civilizations and foster a great exchange and integration of civilizations. It promotes mutual cooperation among the countries along the route. Continue the former growing of the Silk Road. This is what is called global business communication between business from different countries. In conjunction with the theory about communication and culture, such as Huston's cultural dimensions, we can explore the impact of the Confucianism on the Belt and Road Initiative from the perspective of the international communication, intercultural communication, and the global business communication. By analyzing concepts such as long-term orientation, stereotypes, power distance, high context and low context culture, and the role of the culture and the effect of the cultural on management, we can gain a deeper understanding of the reciprocal relationship between Confucian thought and the Belt and the Road Initiative.
Confucianism has a profound impact on the trade practices and culture of countries along the Belt and Road Initiative. China, the values emphasized by Confucianism, such as benevolence, righteousness, and propriety, deeply influenced Chinese business culture. The Confucian concept of relationships makes interpersonal connections, such as friends and fellow townsmen, very important in commercial activities. When engaging in trade, enterprises often rely on long-term cooperative relationships and mutual trust rather than merely on contractual terms. Integrity is at the core of Confucian thought, and merchants emphasize honesty and trustworthiness in transactions, believing that reputation is the foundation of a business's survival. This cultural perspective has promoted the formation of time-honored brands, which have gained consumer trust through long-term reputation and quality, such as Tongren which promotes traditional Chinese medicine culture. Southeast Asian countries have a close historical connection with China, and the influence of Confucianism is more evident in the business culture of these countries. Many business practices within the Chinese communities in the Southeast Asia are influenced by Confucian culture, emphasizing family and kinship ties, with family businesses playing a significant role in the local economy. In Southeast Asian businesses transactions, etiquette and personal relationships are very important. Merchants often need to adhere to Confucian norms of propriety during negotiations to establish good business relationships. Chinese chambers of commerce in Malaysia often organize business exchange activities centered on etiquette, emphasizing the establishment of long-term cooperative relationships. Okay, now I will start from a Russian trade perspective. Western commercial culture originally emphasizes the spirit of contracts, wherein contracts are the core link in business activities. They may have a rigid view that trade practices influenced by Confucian thought overly rely on personal relationships. For example, they might misunderstand that in business scenarios influenced by Confucian culture, contracts are merely a formality, while the true key lies in the personal friendship between business partners. However, this perspective has gradually changed under the influence of Confucian thought. In some cooperative development projects in the Sino-Russian Far East, especially in the energy sector, the team collaboration exhibited by Chinese enterprises, such as a sense of collectivism, the maintenance of harmonious and stable cooperative relationships, and the adherence to integrity in business negotiations, has subtly influenced their Russian partners. They have begun to recognize a contract spirit unique to Confucianism.
Confucianism is gradually embracing commercialization, seamlessly integrating with cultural commerce. With the rise of the global cultural tourism industry, the relationship between Confucianism and cultural tourism has become increasingly close. Confucian cultural tourism not only facilitates the dissemination of Confucian culture, but also promotes the growth of the tourism industry. Through tourism activities, the core values and ideas of Confucian culture are displayed and transmitted to the international community. For instance, the China Qufu International Confucius Cultural Festival has become one of the top 10 festivals in China, attracting numerous international tourists and serving as a global platform for the research, dissemination, and exchange of Confucian studies. These festival events not only showcase Confucian culture, but also promote international tourism. Meanwhile, in some domestic special commercial streets centered on Confucianism, the rise matrix incorporation Confucian culture into cultural and creative products, such as clothing and accessories that blend Confucian motifs with local handicraft styles. These products attract domestic and foreign tourists who immerse themselves in the experience by wearing traditional Chinese clothing and engaging in immersive activities at cultural tourism sites. Simulating a day in the life of ancient Chinese people, these products not only demonstrate the cultural connotation of Confucianism, but also satisfy the cultural tourism consumption needs, driving local commercial development and cultural dissemination. So Confucianism shines with unique charm on the grand stage of cross-cultural exchange, enabling more people at home and abroad to appreciate the immense value and positive force of Confucianism in modern commerce and international interactions.
Over the centuries, Confucianism has endured and evolved. Its core ideology, harmony, is most precious, align perfectly with the core value of the Belt and Road Initiative, influencing the people and commercial activity of the country along the route. Confucianism advocates peaceful coexistence and mutually beneficial cooperation, which help reduce the sense of power distance, minimize trade friction, and improve cooperation efficiency. China is often considered as a country with high power distance. However, Chinese government suggests that the BRI is built on the principle of achieving shared growth through discussion and collaboration, not a foreign aid program. Not conducting global trade activity from a high-hand perspective as a donor is typically an illustration for reducing power distance. The principle is also followed in non-government trade. For instance, a Chinese company found that the construction bricks were scarce and expensive in Tajikistan. This company negotiated multiple rounds with the Tajik enterprise to establish a joint venture to produce the bricks. The Chinese company held 51% share, while the Tajik held 49%. 51 and 49. This share ratio reflects the principle of equality and mutual benefits. The concept of harmony emphasizes the character of restraint, moderation, and humility that created the high-contact culture of most Asian countries, such as Singapore, Indonesia, and Malaysia. Singapore, with its fusion of diverse culture and linguistic background, exhibits traits of high-contact culture, but also adapts direct communication style of low-contact culture in business setting, especially in a negotiation. Chinese garlic export company negotiated with a Singapore company. During the first round of negotiations, Singapore adhered strictly to their original price, leading to a deadlock. This reflects the direct and clear communication style in low-contact culture. Then they had a recess. They attended a banquet and cultural performance together. In the relaxed atmosphere, they improved communication by observing facial expression, tone, and body language. That's the style of high-contact culture. That 3 days later, they returned to the table and successfully reached an agreement. Harmony also emphasizes respecting cultural diversity in business cooperation. Particular attention should be paid to cultural taboos. Kazakh people are known for their hospitality. During business interactions, it's widely known that pork production and non-halal food should be gifted and talked about. There are other cultural taboos should be observed. For example, business banquets are often held in yachts. Guests should sit cross-legged without removing their shoes. Additionally, do not step over the ropes used to tie the animals.
The core values of Confucianism, such as benevolence, loyalty, and harmony, profoundly influences the business culture of the countries along the Belt and Road. The historical background of the Silk Road provides a unique opportunity for the spread of these ideals, promoting cooperation and understanding among nations.
In the era of globalization, Confucian culture through international cooperation platforms such as the Belt and Road Initiative is further reaching out to the world, strengthening international relationships and trust building in the international trade. Let's move forward together, inheriting and promoting Confucian culture, striving to become masters of international trade and cooperation.